Good morning, this is Tanya the Lady Strange. This is going to be the weekly reading for December 15th of 2024. Of the 21st of December of 2024. I've been recently sporadic with my weekly readings, as I was very previously consistent. I've had a lot of tower moments in the past basically 2 months almost. A lot of things that I hold myself accountable for, maybe a bit too much, so I'm trying to work on that in the healing. But a lot of things consecutively in a very short period of time that caused me a major overwhelm and anxiety. So I'm just saying that's why I've been inconsistent with these types of readings, even though I do love to share those and work through with my spirits and guides, and love to share that because it's not only guidance for others that I know that I may help or reach, but also for myself. But that's just a little backstory that I've been through quite a lot, and I'm still working through it. It's going to be a long healing journey through those traumas and lessons, but that's what life is. We move through the best way we can at our own speed and learn our lessons, our truth. But again, like the Elton John song says, and I said recently to someone I don't care about, I'm still standing, which is a great song. Elton John is a great musician and artist and inspiration. So with that being said, that's enough about myself and my situation and where I've been. The decks I'm using this week, I've never used this for weekly readings, but I love this deck. I got it a couple months ago, very recently in the fall. The Pythonic Tarot. Look at those great backs. It's a beautiful indie deck. I'm using, of course, no surprise, the Haunted Manor Oracle. This one's out of print by Syrian Shadows. And, of course, I am using the Soul Mirror Oracle today. These are what stepped forward for me, and what my guides, and what stepped forth, what my guides wanted me to share. So with that being said, this is a general collective reading. So if this applies, that is great. Take away what does apply if it resonates, and if it does not, you can also leave it behind. This may not be your message, or you may not be part of the collective this applies for. And as I always say, to each their own. So let's see what the energies are. Again, this is not fully predictive as much as it's saying what are the energies, potential energies, circumstances, or things and feelings, thoughts that may present themselves this current week that can help us to move through this life, which is ever challenging, but to do so in a healthy, empowered way, and that might help us to approach from a different perspective with guidance. So let's see what my guides and spirits have for us. What should the collective know this week? What energies does the collective need to know about, or what may present itself to be mindful and aware of this week to have a healthy, empowered week, to move through the different challenges, circumstances, the ups and downs of this also holiday season and stressful time and the end of the year. So let's see. We have the Ace of Wands, second card, Justice, one of my birth cards. Also one of my favorite depictions of justice. This deck is also the creatrix. She actually painted every image, and it's very underworld and dark, feminine, and beautiful, and Hecate likes to speak through this deck for me. And lastly, we have one of my friends I've been getting a lot. Also, because of everything, the Five of Wands. There's ups and downs with every card. There's always a different side of the same coin for everything. It may be applicable. Five of Wands can often be a challenging card. So I'm going with 3 cards. That's what I'm being guided for by my guides and being told. So that's what we'll go with, the traditional magic number of 3. So with that being said here, okay, we got 2 wands, which are fire cards, meaning they were the element of fire, working with the elementals. But also the wands represent creativity, motivation, will, strength, action, effort, our ideas, and what we're putting forth in our life and in the world and what's being put forth with us. So there's a lot, with 2 of the 3 tarot cards, there is a lot of fire energy in there. There's a lot of will. In certain ways, I'm feeling that it is great because we have had that and it's motivating us and pushing us forward. But also by not acknowledging it properly or working with that through those motivation, will, or the fire that's there, or the circumstances, they can also burn us. So fire is beneficial for heat, warmth, and of course motivation and beacon. But it can also be similar to a swords card. It can also burn if not used or acknowledged properly and integrated, or not making forth the best efforts of what we do have for ourselves and the actions we may or may not take. And then justice in here, of course, it represents in between is finding balance. So what my guides are saying this week, and what is being said, is the message of basically we need to find a healthy balance, a healthy thing with the justice of in between, of putting forth too much effort or not enough effort and trying to force things. That's what I'm getting with that wands and that warning, is we all have to stop, for whom this applies to, trying to force outcomes, and trying to push forward too forcefully, because life is a give and take. There is a constant thing, like the Wheel of Fortune I pulled this morning, and was advised for. There's a constant cyclical nature, as I always say, of life. The ups and downs in between, and we're all in different phases of our life, our circumstances, our perceptions, and our relationships, and our growth. And with that being said, we have to find a balance with how justice is applied. That means fairness with others and fairness with ourselves. We don't know what others are going through, and others don't know what we're going through. No one can truly know other than ourselves what we're going through, even if we tell others or show them or explain that. Justice is also, as said, about being fair, being integral and honest, and what you put forth into this world does come back. Now, it's not like that Wiccan rule of 3 type of thing, but it's also just basically you create your own karma in many ways by your own actions, thoughts, feelings, energies, and approach, and how you treat yourself and others. I am horrible at how I treat myself in so many different ways, and I really do need to start working on that. Self-work, healing, and empowerment is the first step, and it does go when you acknowledge your truth and your efforts, your will and your determination and desires in a healthy way and face them head on. It can only help yourself and then your relationships and trickle out and bring positive type of karma. So we all create our own karma, but things do happen. That is also true with the justice. But it's just saying to be fair with what is being presented this week, your circumstances and energies. But with the Ace of Wands here, it is also indicating we're at the beginning of another stage. It is time to see about evaluating, making plans, using that creative spark, as I mentioned, in a healthy, fair way that we do have. For this collective, there is a lot of thoughts, feelings, energies, and things that we do want to bring into force, especially since we're on the brink and cusp of 2025. So that is saying to wield your natural power and will and those ideas to bring forth in a fair way and to bring a balance and justice into your life and your circumstances, and to be clear about what you want with that justice is saying, what are you putting forth with that Ace of Wands to bring forth that magic in your life? And I'm not talking about just being a practitioner. I'm talking about bringing new things to life, healing, growth, and what you need to accomplish what you want to at the end of this year and fully in 2025. What do you truly want? And how are you going to take those action steps and plan and work with what you have, your resources, and that fire energy, your creative will, and what are you going to use to motivate you through all the challenges, and especially in this coming week. Being the holiday season is very stressful for everyone. There's a lot of different things with relationships, trauma, and there's also getting together and the energies of others and overwhelm. So it's also saying is this week, how are we gonna hold on to our own personal power in a healthy, willful way to stay the motivation and find balance with what comes this week. This is an overarching message. It's not just this week, I feel. That's what I'm being guided for, but it does present itself overall because it's all interlinked. And then with the Five of Wands here, this card can indicate conflicts and challenges and competitions with others, which is a constant thing in this world. There is constant competition, challenges. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants to rule the world, like the Tears for Fears song says. And we all want what's best for ourselves or for others. But it's also working through this Five of Wands is a combination of that, of trying to find and get what you want in this world in a healthy, empowered way, this week especially. But it's going to be how this collective and how we each approach with that Ace of Wands, with our action plan, in a way, in facing that inner fire, that inner desire, in our challenges. What is presenting itself that we can use for that's in an adversarial way, but that can actually come into our lives, or that we can use in our lives, should I say, in this week in our circumstances to find that healthy balance of justice to work in our favor and tip those scales, and find a healthy empower between our inner and outer worlds. Use that fire, that strength, and the adversity to bring you forth. Know that you are capable of working those challenges of others and what you face. Use that. You see that fire there, that spark of fire? Use that to your advantage. What might trouble you, what may cause you anger, frustration, hurt, or pain, channel that with that Ace of Wands into that healthy balance I mentioned. So it's going to be a balanced, fair week as long as we motivate ourselves and approach things from a very fair, mindful way, and take the right action steps and plan. Use our creative thoughts and energies one thing at a time to avoid any overwhelm or burnout, as the cards are saying. So let's see here what is being indicated on that to clarify or accompany this message for the collective that this may resonate for, and to clarify. Okay. The guides and my guides and entities that assist me, and with this, what does this collective need to know, or that will clarify the message that we have and the energies we had to face this week to help us to be mindful and prepared. So we got absence, which is practice restraint. Kind of goes in clearly with what I've been saying about finding a fair balance between action, energy, wills, and with the competition and what we're creating and what we have created, but also that to avoid explosion and burnout, but to meet our competition and challenges. Next, we have shattered. Practice composure. Another good one, and kind of ties in. To avoid an explosion or to get ahead in your circumstances, practice composure as best as you can. Now, composure can mean using tact with your words, your actions, how you express your feelings, and how you can approach maybe that Five of Wands type of energy internally and externally. Practice composure means maybe reframing your thoughts, your words, feeling through things, talking through things, but having composure to be the best version of yourself through any adversities to find that justice this week. And lastly, I'm being advised to pull one more, which is cobwebs. And that is going to be make something memorable. So again, with everything that's coming and has been coming, take memorable actions, things that your future self and others will be proud of you. Again, don't do things for others for validation or to look for validation and find that. But also make something memorable. Make good memories, even if it's just things you do by yourself, like reading a good book, watching a fun movie or show, going out to dinner, giving and receiving love, support, joy. Make something memorable that your future self is going to work with that Ace of Wands energy that you're going to be proud of, that you're going to hold with you through the tough times, especially this week. By making memories, big and small, it's going to help you through that fire energy. The fire is going to be very strong this week, meaning, like I said, the will and the energy. But you can find justice, this collective will, this week to have a healthy, empowered week. Because as long as you're doing what's memorable and that is working for your benefit, you know you're showing up for yourself. And that's always the best thing, no matter what the outcome is or isn't. And lastly, let's see what the Soul Mirror Oracle has and the guides and what we have, the universe has. And this is going to be the takeaway of the two different sides of the coin and advice to have a healthy, empowered, and effective way for this collective in our relationships, and what we need to, how we can show up for ourselves and how others can show up for us and the circumstances and energies that present themselves. So what should this collective know as a takeaway? This one's appropriate, extremely appropriate. Awareness. So this is awareness, and it says foolish or conscious. Yes, foolish or conscious. I like how the guidebook in this deck is not the greatest. It has a couple prompts and takeaways. It's not completely a throwaway. But I love how there's the two different keywords for the different sides of the same coin as I look at it. And this is a very divine, feminine, and kind of magical deck on it, and very connected to the emotions and the soul, hence the soul mirror. So this is telling me, if others act foolish, are you going to act foolish to meet that? Or are you going to meet the challenge of being conscious and aware for yourself to wield your personal power with the Ace of Wands and to stay and practice healthy justice for yourself and towards others, and also being composed and practicing restraint when other things present themselves that are very hard? How are you going to approach it? And how are you going to reframe it for yourself? There's going to be a lot of potential, I believe, a lot of inner challenges, but others are going to challenge us. But we're up for the effort because we're going to show restraint and composure for ourselves. And of course, we're going to show awareness and consciousness of how we do things, which will help our consciousness and awareness. So I feel it's going to be a very strong, empowered week. Not as we're mindful of those different energies and circumstances. In transforming the challenges, inner and outer of our worlds, to our advantage, as I said, to bring about justice, fairness, consciousness, and to make healthy make memorable situations for ourselves for the present and the future. This week is going to be a week of very much foundational energies, I believe, going towards 2025 and clarity. Now, if you found any resonance in this or any of my previous content, I would certainly love it if you liked, commented, and subscribed, as it helps my channel grow, and know that my messages and gifts are reaching others as others reach me. I hope this all finds you well, and have a safe, empowered, and of course, as always, stay strange.